Star Wars, fellow armchair Imagineers. Star Wars here.
Star Wars here.
And Star Wars trailer. Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. All right.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Star Wars.
All right. How you doing tonight, Dragon? You can tell we have one thing on the mind and one thing only, which is, of course, Star Wars.
Yep.
Dragon, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. You know, it's like I just kind of dive in head first into the thing that everyone knows we're going to be talking about. You know, a little trailer for an independent movie that you may or may not have heard of called The End of the Star Wars Saga as we know it. You know, everyone knows what this is. You know, everyone else on the internet is doing it, so we're giving it our two cents as well. Because how could we not, Dragon? How could we not talk about this? Dragon, first of all, I want to ask: did you watch the press conference? Did you watch the stream?
It's actually a funny story. So what happened was, of course, reportedly, great thanks to Donovan Martin, by the way, because he kind of would have slipped under my radar. But I found out when we were doing the I guess when we were doing the Pixar Spark, when we were doing Smash and Grab last night, it was brought to our attention that, hey, the Star Wars celebration's going on, you know, and they're very likely the following day going to debut the new trailer for Episode 9. So again, I didn't know they were live streaming the celebration, and just by lo and behold, when I went to check for the trailer, I saw the celebration was going on, so I figured, all right, let's see where the celebration is, because it's kind of going live right now. And literally, like the same moment I checked, less than a minute later, like they were debuting Dio, like the new droid, and like right after that, it seems like things were wrapping up. It's like, oh, I guess things are wrapping up. Then I'll check for I guess beyond that, I'll check for the trailer, and of course, before I could do any of that. J.J. Abrams, bet you Colbert is kind of teasing. Do you guys? Hey, J.J., you got anything else to show the people? It's like, okay, come on.
Dragon, you know what? It's funny because you and I kind of came on at the exact same time. That's kind of funny. I came on like right as the droid was being wheeled off stage, and then yeah, Colbert is on. It's like, hey, JJ, anything else? You know, I don't suppose there's anything else that the people in this room who've waited God knows how many hours want to see.
And then, of course, watched it, and then I was like, okay, well, and then, of course, there's a fun moment where an actor, an old Star Wars great, kind of graced the stage, and he said, "Roll it again." It was rolled again.
Play it again.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That was amazing, Dragon. That was amazing.
And you know they weren't prepared for that, because that's why the trailer wasn't in like kind of the projected quality they had, because basically they streamed it because they knew they were going to play the trailer at that point. So that's why we basically got like a video was playing, and then they show you what it actually looks like when it's broadcast in front of all those people on the screen.
So, Dragon, I had you know, getting into the reaction itself, because we haven't really talked about our reaction to the trailer so far yet. I had very high stakes going into this one. It didn't need to be great. It didn't need to knock my socks off like the first trailer for The Force Awakens did, or the second trailer for The Last Jedi did. But Dragon, what this trailer really needed to do was be good. Like, basically, it couldn't pull a Hellboy. It couldn't pull a Ghostbusters 2016. You know what I mean? It couldn't have a disastrous first trailer that you get what I'm saying, right? Like this movie, there was like no room for error in the trailer. If this movie faltered in any way with the marketing, then it would have been doom and gloom all over the place.
Yeah, definitely. Let's suffice it to say, folks, people even still to this day, they're really burned over. They're really burned over Last Jedi.
Which you and I both like The Last Jedi a lot.
Pretty much like everything but Laura Dern and the casino plot. That's pretty much, you know, the casino plot stuff's not terrible. It's just it kind of belongs in another movie. You know, that's all. It's like it's
and
fun
I'll give
stuff.
Laura Dern the Jurassic Park free pass for life.
I gotta tell you that every time I rewatch that, it's just like, man, she really hurts this movie, man. Like, she's just kind of this. It's like,
Jurassic Park. I don't know what to tell you.
Look, I'll get again.
Bias, man.
I don't know. I mean, I get like she's good in The Founder. She's great in F is for Family. That's the thing. She's done it wrong. I mean, she's great all sorts of stuff. I mean, in the end, she just really hurts that movie. And
No,
again,
I'm really just kidding about the
it's a crap role they gave. Poor Laura
You're
Dern.
really not wrong, Dragon.
If only they made her. Why couldn't we just have Admiral Akbar have a bigger role? That's the real question there. Like, why couldn't Admiral Akbar just do all the parts? Anyway. But yeah, so the point is, so people are really guns drawn after Last Jedi. Some people, again, Tiki and I are a lot more favorable to it, but I think you'll notice a lot of people are really just either they overreact to it or they're really burned by it. And again, they're not entirely wrong with their reasoning, but again, it's subjectivity. Majorly, it's subjectivity for Last Jedi for reasons. And the point being, a lot of pressure on this first trailer. I mean, people are just kind of casting doom on this based on The Last Jedi. And then, of course, there's the fact that, hey, we got JJ back. Therefore, we're having the guy who was kind of laying out the story for what he was going to do. But, of course, he didn't do kind of the middle movie. So that kind of threw things, again, reportedly, it threw things into chaos. We don't know 100%, but it seems that JJ definitely probably would have had some input on the sequel if he were more involved. Again, we don't know all the ins and outs. It just sounds that way, you know? Point being, this won't really define like how we're going to end this this new trilogy. How are we gonna like end this, and especially I guess in their case, like how are we going to win over some people who were burned on Last Jedi, or just people who really want things that are going to have a really kind of awesome ending. Well, yes, having a trailer that definitely brings about one part nostalgia, one part quality story, one part just kind of redemption for some choices made in the second one.
Yeah, so you think they delivered?
I think yes. I think they delivered majorly. Basically, if I had to sum it up like so, it'd be I think JJ redeemed the Last Jedi love with this one. I mean, yeah, to put it simply, I just think they it delivered. I think it bought. I think it's kind of erased. Maybe not all, but I think it's erased a lot of like. I think people are now focused on the new movie before they're just kind of harkening back to the previous one. But again, that's the optimistic view of it, I guess. But it's this one it won me over. It's really brief, mind you. There's not a lot to it, but it's a lot of it's neat stuff, and it's got a tone in there. It's a solid first teaser. For a teaser, it's doing the job. It's doing it well.
Solid is a very good word. That's a word that I would describe as well. Like to me, there wasn't like a jaw dropper moment. There wasn't like a huge money shot or anything, but there was a money laugh that we're going to get to.
That's the thing. Like that's kind of the money. That's the big money of it all right there. But beyond that though, it's it's pretty solid. Yeah.
All right. I know you're not into this franchise, but it gave me kind of a Lord of the Rings vibe.
Again, I have no frame of reference on that one, so.
More so with just like the way that it's like, okay, everything's kind of coming to a head. Everything's ending now. It's like the ending of everything.
Right.
All right. So, yeah, I think you and I are pretty simpatico on this. Maybe you're a little bit more hyped than I am, but that's pretty much fair on most things. But, don't get me wrong. I'm really, really... I really do like this trailer a lot. I think it's well put together. I like the Luke narration throughout. I think the choice of shots were very good. And the trailer kind of tells a story. It kind of reminds me of Frozen 2's trailer, where the first half of it is kind of like a standalone short film almost, where we're getting like this big triumphant moment with the lead character. And then the trailer then proceeds to go into montage territory, which isn't a bad thing, set entirely to music. I don't think there's any dialogue outside of some Luke Skywalker narration in the whole thing. So, so I like as far as trailers are concerned, this one is very well put together. Like I said, it's not anything that's like knocking my socks off or like, oh my God, I've never seen that before. But it is cool. It is cool, and it is very solid.
Before we go any further, I just want to echo some of Donovan Martin's sentiments here. Just kind of talking about the celebration and kind of some general stuff with the trailer.
Oh yes. There is one thing I want to bring up with celebration. We'll see if he mentions it.
I didn't go back and watch the full live show, so I just kind of stopped at the trailer for that day. But I did look, oddly enough, into some other stuff in regards to some of the some of the Disney streaming service stuff. Just to answer Donovan's question in the comments there. So yes, I did look into the to the Marvel stuff as well as a little bit of Star Wars stuff. But speaking of which, so Donovan revealed that he's really excited for Celebration Day 2, which they reveal like this new Star Wars game they're doing called Jedi Fallen Order, which they're going to be talking about tomorrow in Celebration. And basically, it's believed that tomorrow they're going to be tackling Jedi Fallen Order or the Clone Wars series or the Mandalorian series. Which Tiki, I looked into the Mandalorian series a little bit, and I tell you, it's got a great cast, man. It's looking really impressive.
Who else do we have?
Well, we have the two big names that really jumped out to me. You have Pedro Pascal, who I believe is playing the main role.
I already knew about him, yeah.
The other one is Giancarlo Esposito. He's going to be in it.
Oh, I did not know about him.
A few other names I'm blanking on right now, but suffice to say, it looks like it's going to be in good shape casting-wise. But seriously, Giancarlo Esposito and Pedro Pascal, those are two really good actors. I'm excited to see kind of paired together on that one. That I'm sure that's going to... And Favreau doing that again. Favreau's been kind of... people wanted Favreau in Star Wars, and of course he had kind of like a little cameo, and well, not he had a small role in Solo. So the point is, like, Favreau's been inching closer and closer to Star Wars. So
take a break from doing shot-by-shot remakes, Favreau.
Yeah, Favreau, do something. Favreau, don't do an imitation of Zack Snyder.
You can't remake the Mona Lisa, Favreau.
Exactly. Don't try to be Zack Snyder on a good day, Favreau. Just come on, like don't be the director who can adapt things great. But it's almost like a Bizarro Favreau. He can do original stuff like the day is long. I don't know. Anyway, so let's see.
That's the nerve.
All right, we have. I'm just trying to look for some of the Star Wars centric stuff here. I'm seeing a lot of Tron Legacy stuff, and that's basically kind of what Tron Legacy's been on Donovan's mind recently about considering what if there was a Tron sequel being an animated sequel. Which any thoughts on that?
I'm assuming it's coming to the Disney Plus service.
No, I think it's just like an original. I think it's just an idea he had. If they were doing one, would you like a sequel to Tron Legacy being an animated sequel?
Yeah, I could see it. I could definitely see them doing it in the original Tron style, but doing it almost like into the Spider-Verse.
There's a lot of talk about Ahsoka being in Episode 9. Now, I think that's just Donovan. It comes across to me that Donovan just big fan of the Ahsoka character. Of course, Steve. You know Ahsoka, right?
Oh, I'd really like to see Ahsoka in a Star Wars movie.
That's a thing. Of course, the old question of because Ahsoka, especially in some of the good animated Star Wars stuff they did, like Clone Wars and the Rebels series. From what I saw of the Rebels series, they did the full Ahsoka story there, and the point being I don't know if she's going to officially be in the movie or not, but definitely it'd be kind of neat. And again, you have a bit of a Vader connect with Ahsoka slightly,
Sure.
So I don't know how official that is if she's going to be in the movie, and I think it's just kind of like pie in the sky, like hopes sort of stuff with Ahsoka here from the sounds of things. Basically saying way to get Star Wars fans back right here. In Episode 9, Ahsoka is seduced by the dark side, and she tries to seduce Rey to the dark side in a very I'm just looking at the emoji here. Terrible with these emojis, I'm sorry. Very nerve-wracking scene, it looks like. Boom, I don't know. The point being, there's a lot of Ahsoka speculation here. More on the other stuff. Okay, all that said, let's...
Any mention on Kelly Marie Tran?
No, I don't see anything here.
Okay, well, when Kelly Marie Tran came out with the rest of the cast, she got the biggest applause, and she got a standing ovation.
Well, she could. Maybe she's playing the role,
Well, I'm just saying, Dragon. That's a very, very heartwarming moment, because given all the crap that she went through on social media playing Rose, and that was kind of the low of lows of Star Wars fandom, is because people legitimately started cyberbullying her. I don't want to get on my high horse, but I think that this was a great kind of coming together moment of people, really welcoming her in and just giving her the respect she deserves.
Right. Oh no, sorry. I mixed that up when you said that name. It took me a minute before you said like, oh yeah, that's the Rose from
Yeah, Rose,
right.
Rose.
Sorry
Yeah.
about but yeah. That's a good thing too because yeah, she was unfairly kind of persecuted for that movie. That was not fair to her. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I agree with you on that. Okay.
All right, with that in mind, let's get to the shot by shot. So, Dragon, of course, we have to start at the logo. I love the caption, just Ray, heavy breathing. What do you think of that, man? Like, I got to admit, I was a little terrified of this. Because if this trailer was bad, I would have just, like, all my hopes for anything Star Wars would have just kind of been really deflated. You know what I mean? But so with the heavy breathing, I feel like it almost kind of like simulated the fans' nervousness.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, hold on. Let me might be a good idea to do that. All right.
Yeah. All right. All right, so we start this puppy with Ray on, it seems to be a desert planet. Now, again, assuming it's a planet we've seen before, it could be Jakku, or more interestingly, it could be Tatooine. Think about how neat that would be.
I think it's Tatooine.
I'd love to think it's Tatooine because of some stuff we get a little bit. You may want to pause here for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love to think it's Tatooine, just thinking that we're given all this Luke dialogue we're having and some stuff later on with some shots. It looks very kind of Tatooine, reminiscent of like Return of the Jedi stuff we saw on Tatooine. So it kind of makes me think, hey, kind of reminiscent of that. We're finally hitting Tatooine, which we haven't been to in the new trilogy. So that'd be kind of neat. And that's a way, again, with a movie called The Rise of Skywalker, that's kind of be kind of appropriate to kind of visit Tatooine with our new characters.
Yeah, of course. And when you think about it, with the lineage of Skywalkers, both of them rose out of the slums of Tatooine in a way. Both Luke and Anakin Skywalker kind of having the rise out of the ashes, kind of like Cinderella story in a way.
Okay, real quick. So one, they actually shot this in Jordan, apparently.
Yeah, so I heard.
And Don Martin showing a lot of love for Daisy Ridley. A lot of love. So, anyway. Of course, I mean, Daisy Ridley, she's always been kind of, I think, one of the really big bright spots in the new trilogy. I mean, she's been really impressive. She's one of the great new additions of characters, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I think I liked her in Episode 7. I really liked her in The Force Awakens.
I still wish that deleted scene from Last Jedi made into that movie. Remember the deleted scene, right?
Oh God, remind me.
Sure. The one where basically Luke kind of educates her with a lesson here, basically saying he kind of tricks her into running down. You remember like the nurse, like those weird kind of
yes.
nuns? Basically, they were. It seemed he kind of sold to her like, oh yeah, these guys they come by like on a monthly basis, and they kind of pillage the place. And of course, by pillaging, he means just they kind of party monthly. And she runs down there to kind of break up everything, and they're having this little celebration. They're like it's like almost like they're shaking these glow sticks, and she runs down. And we see why she was running in all the trailers. Basically, that's what this scene was. She runs down there, and basically she kind of bursts through the door, and she already has kind of a shaky relationship with these guys, and basically she shakes her lightsabers around like the glow sticks, and just kind of like, oh hey guys, and then Luke kind of spots the lesson of basically you should look before you leap type lesson. That was a really good scene. It was a lot of fun. It's again a little bit of levity and also some fun kind of mentor stuff with Luke Skywalker. Really.
And more exploration into the creatures of The Last Jedi with say what you will about The Last Jedi, but it had a lot of creature design.
Yeah.
All right,
so we have some dialogue from Luke here. I love all the Luke dialogue here because, one, I'm a sucker for Mark Hamill, but beyond that, too, I think it's all really great dialogue. And I think a lot of it, I got to be honest, a lot of it does kind of buy back some. I think a lot of this dialogue does buy back some Last Jedi stuff because I think what they're doing with most of this dialogue is they're kind of legitimizing what The Last Jedi was all about.
Yeah, I hear you.
Of course, the whole Last Jedi thing, I think it pretty kind of firmly, bear in mind it's a trailer, but I think what they're kind of going for here is that, okay, so she is the Last Jedi, and all of it's been thrust upon her shoulders for the last movie. We have this great dialogue. We've passed on all we know. 1,000 generations lived you now. That's an awesome line. And again, I think they're kind of making better sense of the responsibilities of the Last Jedi. So again, just kind of like taking where the ball was just kind of laying on the ground. Now we're picking it up and we're going somewhere with it, so to speak.
Also, Dragon, it's worth noting that this movie actually employs one of my favorite narrative devices. That's right, a time jump.
Yeah.
We don't know exactly how long into the future this is between episode 8 and episode 9, but there's definitely going to be some time passed, and we know that Daisy Ridley, Rey, is going to be, she'll have been intensely studying the Jedi text that she stole in The Last Jedi. And, really kind of, like, by the start of it, it's basically, like, I'm going to predict it's going to be, of course, a mere sort of, like, oh, it's like poetry, it rhymes, with, like, Luke at the start of Return of the Jedi, where he's just kind of, like, the wise sage at this point, like, the don't mess with him, Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Anyways.
All right, so then we have this great standoff going on here between Rey with her lightsaber and kind of a TIE fighter flying the kind of lowest to the ground we've ever seen a TIE fighter fly.
I could have sworn that every generation has a legend is a tagline for another Star Wars movie, like a prequel or something. Hmm.
Oh, it's kind
of I'm pretty sure the tagline for The Phantom Menace was very similar, but instead of every generation has a legend, it was every legend has a beginning. That could be it. Anyways.
Well, with all this marketing, with all kind of this, the big kind of heavy text here of every generation has a legend, Donovan kind of goes on to say, I know it's going to be a long stretch, but I really hope this makes the last movie more enduring.
Yeah, I do too. Just in terms of, if some of the stuff in this movie like clears up some of the issues that people had with The Last Jedi, then that I'd be all the more for that.
And this is what I'm talking about. Here's the standoff we got going on here. This is neat. Presumably, given the gloves, and again, it could just be like just general piloting gloves. This could be a random TIE fighter been sent after, but there is a chance there could be Kylo Ren in this thing.
Oh my god, it's like it goes by the screen so fast, it's like hard to get a freeze frame of the damn thing. Oh my god.
Remember, we're going to have a really better shot of it a little bit
Well, I
later.
know. It's like, you get the point of how fast it goes by, though. It's just like it really whizzes by.
Yep.
All right.
Here we go. It's just Rey being awesome right now. See those gloves and a little.
Maybe it could be Kylo. Now, I love the way that Rey's lightsaber just swings as she runs.
And again, this sort of ship, this kind of sporty version of the TIE fighter is what Kylo Ren flies ordinarily. So chances are it's probably Kylo.
And yeah, this is ridiculous, Dragon. This to me was the money shot of the trailer before the laugh.
Right. Yeah, it's really cool. Like she matches the momentum, she just jumps in midair, just flipping just at the right moment. This all looks really great.
And it's definitely something that we've never seen in Star Wars before, at least in the canon movies, is the idea of someone going toe-to-toe with a TIE fighter with a lightsaber.
But I love that what's kind of being said overall, but this is your fight. So we're seeing how Rey kind of takes to this fight, which, of course, like we see her, again, probably the most action we've gotten, like kind of like Jedi versus something like this. I mean, if you look in the grand scheme of things, then you have the prequels where, like, yeah, we have like everyone and their mother has a lightsaber, so maybe I can't say the most actiony, but I mean, the most kind of grounded action of like one lady, one Jedi versus just a TIE fighter on the ground like this. I mean, they're doing cooler stuff with the lightsabers in the new trilogy, I feel.
Yeah, of course, in The Last Jedi, everything was projected, which was kind of a weird twist that, honestly, Dragon, I gotta say, it didn't sit well with me the first time I watched it. But then, as on the rewatches that I got of The Last Jedi, I was kind of more like, oh yeah, I see how they're setting this up, and it's really clever, and all the pieces kind of line up. All right,
Yeah,
anyway.
Donovan really wants an explanation as to Rey's power set. So he wants to see like kind of like how far she can really basically it's gonna be kind of I guess per your time jump. What they could do is kind of see like kind of Luke at his
Well,
most.
I already explained it, Dragon. She has the Jedi text. She's been reading the Jedi text pretty religiously since the end of Episode 8. That's how you work around that.
No, that's not what I was going to say at all.
Sorry, go ahead.
What I meant.
I'm just saying I already gave my explanation for it.
Well, sure. But no. What I mean is like again, kind of the way we saw Luke kind of in his prime by Return of the Jedi. I think we're gonna have that with Rey here. We're gonna see just like her kind of her peak of being a Jedi or something. Man, she knows all the stuff there. She's really again, she's just really masterful. She's practically like Samurai Jack from this shot here. If you want to really look at it, like she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, and to me, I feel like the Return of the Jedi thing is a great comparison because it's just sort of the way that these movies are told. You know what I mean? Like did we really need a 2-hour explanation of how Luke went from the kind of the shimmied farm boy who had his dreams crushed at the end of Empire Strikes Back to the badass Jedi at the beginning of Return of the Jedi? No. But we buy the motivation at the end of Empire Strikes Back, and we get that he would set his mind to it and come back stronger than ever.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so right here. So one, let me tell you what I love in this. I love the color contrasts in this trailer here. We have like this cool blue going on here, which reflects kind of Rey, the light side, and the the blue lightsaber. And on the flip side of things with Kylo, we have kind of a red setting, and of course reflecting the red lightsaber. It's kind of a nice little kind of dichotomy they got going on there. We have a very kind of Cloud City looking place going on. I don't think it's Cloud City because Bespin looks quite a great deal different unless we're seeing it like a different angle. We've never seen Cloud City at night. It's always like perpetually sunset on Cloud City.
Yeah, I don't know what it could be. I've seen this before in like concept art and stuff that's leaked. I'm pretty sure it's a new planet of some kind.
Okay, before we go any further, I guess just to address it here, so we don't forget about it. So Rey's lineage. What do you think we're doing with that? You think she's going to be a Skywalker after all?
No.
No. Okay.
I want to address the Skywalker theories right at the end, if you don't mind, once we get the title reveal.
Well, I had a feeling, so yeah, let's do that.
But personally, for me, no. I mean, just because you asked, no, I really don't think that Rey's going to be a Skywalker. I think there's other possibilities in mind.
All right. Okay.
Okay, sorry, let's just watch it. Play it again. Play it again. It's so cool.
Play it again. I want to see it.
Right.
All right.
Okay, here we go. And this is just a very, very cool shot for me. Like you said, I love the red contrast. I think it's really brutal how this guy kind of like, gets taken down with the lightsaber, but doesn't really get sliced. What do you think of that?
Well, presumably, and again, it could be a stretch. This guy might be another Knight of Ren that he's just kind of ticked off with and he's taken down for all we know. It might not be, but it's that would explain how we might survive before things escalate any further.
Mm.
I don't know. The guy's kind of covered head to toe a little bit like a Knight of Ren, but bear in mind, it doesn't have to be a Knight of Ren. The point being, he's just taking somebody down, he's taking his time with him, which is just cruel. Okay, I love this. I love this visual. I love this idea here.
What, the droid?
No, not the what droid? No.
This right here?
No, go back to the helmet. The helmet.
Okay, sorry.
Right here. Well,
okay. Well, there's a droid fixing the helmet. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's not even. For all we know, it's not even. It doesn't really look like a droid. It looks like a.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm just stupid. All right, I'm sorry.
Okay, my point. Okay, just hold on the. Okay.
Is that good?
Yes, it's fine. It's like I want
Okay,
to.
okay.
Okay. So if you look, these is a little fun figure. You see these hands working on it. They're either hairy hands or someone wearing a fur coat fixing this helmet. I think it's going to be an alien with furry hands, by the way. But what I want to focus on, though, I love the visual of Kylo Ren's helmet. Of course, he smashed the crap out of in The Last Jedi.
Do you
But
think it's Chewbacca?
here's the thing. I don't think that's. I mean, I don't think those are the hands of a Wookiee personally, but because again, it could be somewhere in a fur coat. But I don't know. I think it's an alien. I think it's different. I don't think it's going to be a Wookiee.
All right.
I don't know. Anyway, what I love about the helmet, of course, I love the red cracks in the helmets. Of course, it's very much Kylo Ren's kind of a fractured guy. Again, it's the color red that reflects the lightsaber and everything. Again, there's the old. Again, it's very Kintsugi, Tiki, which of course we became very familiar with kidding. You remember Kintsugi, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You break, and of course you're kind of fuse them together with gold, which of course means you're stronger after that. So of course you've had your breakthrough, and of course it's kind of what Kylo Ren's had. He had a breakthrough in The Last Jedi. He's kind of more powerful than he's ever been, and we're kind of reflecting that visually with kind of the pieced together helmet. Which, again, one is kind of like a cool, like angry visual with the helmet, but also again we're kind of, I don't know, he's kind of piecing together. He's kind of mythologizing himself yet again. So he's kind of re-earned the helmet in a way where people was like, yeah, why is he wearing the helmet? But now he's kind of re-earned it. So that's kind of
cool. All right.
Then we see Finn.
I hear you.
Then we see Finn and Poe here, and say, "Hey, it's good to see our buddies back again. Hey, it's Finn and Poe."
I assume this is set on location in Jordan.
Probably, yeah.
What do we think of BB-8 and our newest droid, Windex?
Windex. Oh, right, because the little. Here's a weird thing. When it turns the other way, it looks kind of like a Luxo lamp, and I love that. But okay, so seriously, BB-8 and Dio. So real quick, I just wanted to acknowledge, with the helmet earlier on, Donovan says there might be some lava symbolism with Anakin Skywalker. The whole like Vader's palace and everything. Basically, kind of like the red lava being the cracks, that sort of thing.
Sure.
Of course, also pointed out Poe Dameron looks a lot like Nathan Drake earlier on, but I don't know, but yeah. So it's again, I'd like to see Dio at the celebration, just kind of seeing him here. BB-8's got a little buddy. I mean, I hope it's as kind of as interesting as BB-8. I always hope we're not kind of devolving down to like, hey, let's have another BB-8. Let's just throw that. So we need to redeem the Porgs. Right. We need another BB-8 to kind of to fill in for the Porgs, man, because the Porgs didn't sustain as much as we thought they would.
All right, next up. Okay, this is great, man. This is one of my favorite shots, honestly. Just this visual. I assume that's Billy D in the pilot seat with Chewie.
Well, it is him. Yeah, you can see he's wearing the cape.
Yeah, and I love the image of Chewbacca just raising his fist triumphantly with Lando as they go into light speed.
Well, it's not even raising his. Remember, it's not him raising his fist; it's him working the little dials and everything. That's why he's lifting his hand right there.
Okay, well, still, it's a good visual. All right, it's like the raised fist. Just look, regardless of what he's doing, just makes it give off like a kind of triumphant vibe. All right,
it is cool. They're piloting. That's what's cool about.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right here, it's good to see. Look, he just jumped right back into the world.
I gotta say, yeah, he looks great. He looks a lot better than I thought he would, honestly.
Lando and Chewie flying the Falcon. It's a great reveal, and Billy D still got it, buddy boy. Billy D still got it.
Yeah. I just hope that they actually factor him in a major way. I hope it's not just like a couple scenes like, oh, here I am. You gotta do like some sort of sad mission with me. You know what I mean? I hope he's like a major part of the plot.
Well, you know what it looks like, and this would be really cool. It'd be really cool if like Billy D's big reintroduction is he kind of pulls what Han Solo did at the end of A New Hope, where he kind of Again, not during the huge climax, but let's say maybe like the end of the first act or something. He swoops in, he saves the day in the Falcon with Chewie, and we reveal, oh my God, it's Lando! Like the whole like and all like woo, what he's just come on, kid, blow this thing, let's go home. Like that sort of moment where like Lando just kind of swoops in. It's like, oh my God, Lando's in the movie now. Wow.
Yeah. All right. Next up. Of course, the classic Lightspeed. We have to have a Lightspeed shot in every Star Wars trailer, right? Like that's just mandatory.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, the saga comes to an end. Do you believe that this will be the last in the Star Wars Skywalker saga? Let's call it.
Yeah, and the last. I do believe it's gonna be the last in the Skywalker saga, and beyond that, of course, I think the point is this is going to be the end of the trilogy, all new and loved in regards to the whole Skywalker kind of mythology of it all. But beyond that, it's going to be. I mean, they're probably going to keep doing Star Wars movies, and then just kind of like they keep always saying they're going to go 30 years into the future yet again. They're going to have new characters, and that's probably where it's going. But perfect. I got to tell you, in a gutsier world, it's like, what if we just ended it here and then we just kind of do adventures that in Star Wars, but not necessarily another huge like Star Wars. Like we're not keeping the numbers going. We're not just doing like 10, 11, 12, and vice versa. Like we just kind of ended at 9. Like the big dramatic number. The number was kind of teased for decades. Like the big one was like, is George Lucas ever going to get to 9? That was the big question. And well, the short answer is no. He did get to 9, obviously. But the point being, though, we end on 9, the big dramatic number.
Sure. All right. You know me, Dragon. One of my favorite characters in the saga is my buddy 3PO.
Yeah, this is great. So again, this brings back flashbacks of Return of the Jedi, where they're on kind of a sales barge looking thing here. When they're all rescued, they're on a craft identical. Which makes me think maybe it's Tatooine. Regardless, it's kind of cool to see them all in something similar to that. And of course, you have C-3PO. I like the way it seems we're getting C-3PO into the action again, which he's just going to take kind of
exactly. Like in The Force Awakens, he had like one of the best lines in the whole thing, where he interrupts Han and Leia's reunion, and he just comes out like, "Oh, Master Han, you probably don't recognize me because of the red arm."
Yeah. And also, Donovan points out that, again, I think you can kind of see it in the image here. You see a little bit of black around around kind of the shoulder area of C-3PO. It's basically, he looks a lot more flexible. You see how he's kind of lifting his arms. He looks a little bit more flexible. Maybe they've updated the suit a little bit so he can move a little bit more.
Perhaps.
Maybe. All
right. Next.
Okay. Big one.
This is.
What?
Do you know what this is?
Yeah, you don't know what this is?
No, tell me.
It's the medal from A New Hope.
Oh, the medal, of course.
The medal's at the one that Chewbacca infamously never got. So, again, it's probably, given the hands right here, it looks like they might be like Leia's hands holding maybe Han's medal or her own medal. The point being, again, it's a medal.
Uh-huh.
One of the medals. That's kind of cool. Maybe what they're probably they might do, because JJ remember all that heat that JJ from Scott for like, why didn't when she came back after Han Solo's death, why didn't Chewie and Leia get their little hug moment? Like, why didn't they? I think JJ might be acknowledging the thing. It's been so infamous. Like Chewie never got a medal. Maybe Leia gives Chewie the medal.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Okay, now here we go. This is definitely the feels moment, Dragon, and it feels very natural.
Yes, it does. It again, there's something really. First, again, I love that the dialogue kind of complements a lot of this here. Where again, we're having Luke saying over this, we'll always be with you. Again, one that's kind of a beautiful little meta thing of like, yes, we've lost Carrie Fisher, and of course, this movie is going to be kind of the big goodbye to Carrie Fisher, and might be like the big kind of like, it's kind of like the Stan Lee cameo in Spider-Verse, of course, after he passed, and then you get something like that. It kind of makes you just makes that moment even more resonant. I think it's kind of what they have here, where okay, so we've lost we've lost her. And we're kind of acknowledging that here with kind of a tearful moment with Carrie Fisher. But again, which kind of in this trailer, that great kind of acknowledgement of like, even though we're gone, we'll always be with you. Which of course, the really neat thing when you think about it is that, again, we're at a place in this trilogy now, in this grand history of Star Wars movies, where by the third movie in this installment, again, within the movie, all the original characters are gone for all intents and purposes. Like, I assume they're going to write Leia out somehow, but again, we're not sure if they're going to kill her off in the movie or not. But again, they're all gone in some way, shape, form, or another. And again, it's kind of big when you think like how we kind of have the last movie kind of thrust upon there. Yeah, we've lost so many members of the Skywalker family into like kind of the big three icons of three big icons of Star Wars. We've definitely passed the torch on to the next generation. That's kind of what this moment kind of signifies. It's passing of the torch.
Mm. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Like this group shot right here.
Yep, really nice group shot. Ah, yes, here we go, finally.
And this is now I love the dialogue here with Mark Hamill, the whole we're never really gone. And then, of course, no one's ever really gone. That's said in a very hopeful, very triumphant manner. You know what I mean? It's like, we'll always be with you, Rey. But then the contrast to that, Dragon, if you will, the dark side to that is one laugh, my friend. One laugh. So don't you agree with me? Don't you think that the no one's ever really gone mixed with that laugh is what really makes it?
Yeah, I do, but I also like the way Luke says it. Again, it is intended to be optimistic, but by the same token, it does have. I love how they kind of struck that. Where again, it does sound very. No one's ever really gone. It's like, yeah, no one's ever really gone. Where there's some people are coming back. So like when you rewatch trailer, like, oh my god, it's so great that yes. But the point is, I agree with you. The moments complement each other perfectly. Yeah. But going back to the visual though.
Yeah,
let's go back to let's go back to the
got it. Well, first of all, let's talk about the title. Do you want to get the logo up really quick?
All right, fine, yeah, sure.
Okay.
The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, so Dragon, I, like everyone else on the internet, has about 10 theories about this.
Does this look purple to you?
What, the logo?
Yeah, like the Star Wars, like the outline of the
logo. It looks blue to me.
Yeah, I know. I got blue too. Diamond says he says he loves the purple. I'm not quite seeing the purple, but
I don't know. I do like the design of the logo, though. I like it. It's nice. It's a nice contrast to the red of The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay, so The Rise of Skywalker. I am very happy with the title. I think it's an unexpected title. I think it's a title that's not like repetitive. Like The Force Awakens, I thought was a little repetitive. I thought that The Last Jedi was kind of like, well, we already had Jedi used in a title not too long ago. This title to me really pops, and it really kind of offers a lot of speculation points.
Yes, and so I can't help but wonder if perhaps the Rise of Skywalker might tie in the Rey's origin, which originally, again, I was on the fence. I never thought that she was related to Luke Skywalker, because again I always imagined, man, Luke has to be a terrible parent to abandon her on Jakku. That was always my read on that. So that's why I never thought they were related. But I don't know, like the Rise of Skywalker kind of suggests that maybe she is. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. My theory, I have some more complex theories. One of the ones that I've heard floating around there that I really like is that, how The Last Jedi was all about breaking new traditions and starting over?
Mm-hmm.
What if instead of Force users being called Jedi, They're called Skywalkers.
So basically, if Jedis are renamed Skywalkers in tribute to Luke Skywalker.
Yes, yes. And Skywalker is an entirely different breed of Force user.
I like that. I gotta be honest. I think that's kind of neat because again, I was kind of hoping that Last Jedi was going to hit a little bit more on that. Maybe Abrams kind of saved the point. I like the idea that we're kind of casting off the kind of the light side and dark side. Well, it's kind of what they seem to be going for Last Jedi. Nothing says that isn't necessarily where they could be going with it. I think an idea like that, just kind of renaming things, kind of redefining things, could definitely build into that. So that'd be kind of neat. I like that idea. I mean, Skywalker, man. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Of course, people are also speculating that it could be a Luke Skywalker search for Spock situation where, Luke Skywalker literally might come back from the dead, the rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, oh yeah, well, sure, I have a different kind of theory about kind of rising from the dead, so perhaps we could go back to the last image real quick.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, one sec. This one?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, point being, so first off, this is the radar dish from the Death Star. It's a piece of the Death Star.
Oh, is it really that? Okay.
Yeah, you did. So, first of all, if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure it's
no. It makes sense. It's like I've been spending all day trying to figure out what it was, but I didn't really do any research into it. I didn't really look it up on my own. And yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It's got that kind of circular design to it. It does kind of look like a spear now that I kind of take it in.
Well, here's the thing. It's most likely it's the second Death Star, hence the big Emperor reveal.
Right, sure.
Palpatine reveal. It's probably that's how probably how he survived. Like he just clinged on to a piece of the Death Star here. Of the second Death Star. And this is like kind of where basically all the beams kind of mix with each other, fire from the thing. That it's the radar. It's the little circle part of the Death Star.
And of course, Palpatine's whole thing with death plagueth the wise is that he wanted to cheat Death Dragon. That was a big part of his character, especially in Episode 3, which is the last time we saw him on screen.
That's what I'm saying, Tiki. That's why with the whole rise of role is that I think they're definitely going to pay off that Plagueis story where again Palpatine, he found the famous Padme promise of you can stop someone from dying. But I think either Palpatine figured it out after those 20-odd years, or he knew it the whole time. Point being, chances are Palpatine he found a way to kind of physicalize a Force ghost. Uh-huh. That's what I think it's going to be. It's either he physicalized a Force ghost, but from what I've heard, the Emperor's been brought back in some of the games in some way, shape, or form of the expanded universe stuff. So sometimes it's been a robot, sometimes it's been a clone. I don't know. I can't keep it all straight. The point being, I think they can come up with an original way to bring it back. If they do, I'd like it to be the Plagueis thing because it would kind of satiate everybody's wondering, what the heck was the deal with Snoke? Was he Darth Plagueis the whole time? What was all that about? So I think we're going to reveal Palpatine was pulling the strings the whole time. I think Snoke answered the Palpatine. That's what I think we're going to reveal. So again, whether the whole Plagueis thing was Snoke or not, again, I'm still unsure. The point being, I think Palpatine is definitely going to be he's the guy pulling the strings the whole time. He's been laying low and kind of trying to physicalize himself and all that sort of stuff. So I think he's been around, is what I'm saying. So I think that's where they're going with it. Now let me see if I can get some stuff from Don in here in terms of theories and such here. So again, I believe the theory with the title is it's like royalty being passed down from the next generation. The new generation fighting in the living and the Skywalkers. So you have like Luke, Anakin, and I'm just reading it here. Basically, it might be a correlation to it might be a big Force ghost thing. The whole rise of the Skywalker. Like we might see like Luke, Anakin, and maybe them in the afterlife as Force ghosts, maybe conferring or something like that. I think that's what he's getting at here. The point being, I think what he's saying is we're going to tie the prequels, the originals, and the sequels all together. Basically, the three trilogies might kind of all meet in this last one, I think is what he's getting at. You follow?
Yeah, I do. And like I keep saying, Dragon, like I keep citing, it is, and I joke about it, but it really is the intention of George Lucas, and he very earnestly said this, Dragon. It's like poetry. It rhymes. And I agree that there's kind of like a cyclical nature to the production where it's like you started new productions. Well, yeah.
Let me ask you this: do you think another theory I don't think I threw out earlier is do you think there's a chance Palpatine could have been Darth Plagueis the whole time?
Yes, I think there's a theory. I think there's a chance of that. Of course, I think everyone thought that Snoke was Darth Plagueis, and that was kind of thrown out the window. So yeah, I definitely think there's a chance of it. And then of course that would reveal like why Palpatine, of course, because Darth Plagueis can manipulate death, and there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think of any other.
Okay, wait. Okay, this is what I just want to give it its proper due here. So what sounds like is so Rise of the Skywalker could mean, based on Don Martin here, Rise of Skywalker could mean that Rey is actually a Skywalker in the living, and Luke, along with Anakin, Obi-Wan, and every other Skywalker, is fighting Palpatine in the afterlife as they battle. And basically, that's what Donovan's. Okay, we clarify what exactly Donovan's saying here. So the idea is that we're gonna have a Rey doing stuff, probably finding out that she's a Skywalker, and seeing kind of the big battle between her and Kylo Ren happening, just kind of as the main story, but perhaps Luke is as with all the kind of the Skywalkers and friends, Obi-Wan and such. They're all combating Palpatine in like an afterlife. Palpatine somehow basically a war of the Force ghosts going on simultaneously. That's what he's saying. So, I have thoughts on that. They have two Skywalker plots going on at the same time, or at least kind of like two Skywalker plots that kind of correlate with the fact that they're both Skywalker potentially.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm kind of fresh out of. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of mulling my head. I had a whole list of them in terms of the titles, but I don't want to spend all day kind of mulling over the titles here. Anything else in the comments, or should we call it a night?
All right. Let me see if there's anything else pressing here. Again, there's a lot of the point. It sounds like Plague is definitely a certainty for the movie. A lot of clinging to we're going to see Plagueis, get some answers with Plagueis, which I'd say is pretty much a safe bet. I don't know how, but we're going to address Plagueis in this movie, so I'd agree with Donovan on that front.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. I think the most likely scenario, if we see Plagueis, is the is Palpatine being Plagueis, but we'll see. We'll see.
Right. Okay. So I think maybe we should kind of end things here. So, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just think that this trailer needed to be good. It needed to stick to landing. It absolutely could not suck, and it didn't suck. It really did its job. It delivered a couple wow moments. It delivered kind of a reintroduction back into the world, and it got the hype train rolling, and it got the theory train rolling. And I feel like the Star Wars fandom, for the first time in like a couple years, is actually in a good place again.
Yeah, I think this, for me, this trailer. It kind of marks some course correction for a grand finale vibe. That's kind of what I'm getting from it. I think it's going to satisfy people a lot more this go around. So I think the point is I'm getting a good feeling from this. So yeah, triumph.
All right, so Dragon, the one thing that I'm thinking about doing after we the one thing that I'm going to command my computer to do after we sign off here.
What?
Play it again.
Play it again.
Darth Plagueis the Wise.